the Nonprofit Podcast, powered by Donorbox.
Are you looking to raise more money for your nonprofit to boost those donations? Welcome to the Nonprofit Podcast. I'm Kara, fundraising coach at Donorbox. We're here each week with practical actions you can use today to increase donations and take your nonprofit to the next level tomorrow. As always, I'm delighted to have Jenna Lynch, nonprofit advocate at Donorbox, here with me today. And sometimes it's easier said than done to create opportunities for donors to give in ways that feel easy, that are secure, and make them feel appreciated, especially when we're overwhelmed with all that needs to get done. But today, we hope to make it easier for you to do. We have an episode that is filled with actionables today. So welcome, Jenna.
Thanks for having me, Kara.
Last week, we talked about the most recent M&R Benchmarks report and how online revenue for the average nonprofit decreased by 4% in 2022. And then, just a few days ago, the 2023 Giving USA annual report was released, and it reported on overall 2022 giving, and it also had some dismal data. Overall giving was down for the first time in a long time, and individuals are giving a smaller portion of their disposable income. And many nonprofits are really left grappling with what to do with that data and how to get ahead of the curve.
Oh, yeah. The past year has been a roller coaster ride for nonprofits for sure, with those shifting dynamics and those evolving donor behaviors that continually surprise us. It's important for organizations to adapt and find innovative ways to connect with their supporters and inspire them to give, especially after looking at these reports. That's more important than ever.
Yeah, this report really sheds some light on the importance of staying ahead of the curve, putting some fixes in place to really help stand out to prospective donors. And Jenna, I am excited because you'll be sharing 5 actionable strategies that can help nonprofits boost their donations and counteract that online revenue decline. Is that right? Is that what you have for us today?
Yep, that's right.
Good.
And with some really careful planning, a little bit of innovative thinking, nothing too intimidating, I promise, and a sprinkle of creativity, I think that nonprofits can really turn the tide and secure the donations that they need to fuel their missions. Whether you are a small grassroots initiative or a really established nonprofit, there's something here for everyone, I think.
Excellent. So why don't you start us off with the first strategy?
Sure. So the first strategy is all about creating an attractive and user-friendly online donation page. A donation page is like the front door of your nonprofit's online presence. And believe me when I say this, first impressions matter, especially in the digital world. So you want to create a donation page or a fundraising page, whatever you want to call it, that grabs attention. It makes it really easy for donors to support your cause.
So when it comes to creating an engaging online donation page, what are some of the key elements that nonprofits should consider? You see hundreds of donation pages every week. So what would you recommend?
I sure do. Well, first and foremost, it's important to have a really visually appealing design that captures the attention of your visitors. So you want your donation page to reflect your organization's brand and mission. To do that, you need to use compelling imagery, colors that resonate with your cause, match your brand, and that clear and concise messaging to convey the purpose and impact of donations.
What about the process, the donation process itself? How can nonprofits make it seamless and user-friendly?
The donation process should be as simple and as straightforward as possible. So you really need to avoid lengthy forms that ask for excessive information. We all know what this looks like. We land on a page and the entire page is a form that just looks like so much work and kind of looks ugly too. So I say stick to the essential details like name, email, and of course the donation amount. And you can always collect additional information later if necessary. So you can send out a donor survey or, ask for their phone number or their address if you know for a fact that you're going to use it. But keep the process completely simple and streamlined. And by doing this, you reduce the risk of potential donors abandoning the donation midway because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you don't want that abandonment for sure. What about customization? How can nonprofits personalize their donation page?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this, but customization is key to creating a really unique and engaging donation process. So with Donorbox, for example, you have the flexibility to customize your donation form to match your organization's branding and your donation page. So you can add your logo, you can add a background image, you can choose those colors that align with your visual identity. And you can even include personalized messaging, that clear and concise messaging and images and videos on your page to really make it come to life. And you can also personalize thank you messages for your donors. So it's not just on the page, it's what happens after they're done with the page. And these little touches really go a long way in making donors feel really valued and appreciated and safe on your page too.
And we just spent a couple episodes talking about the value of appreciation and how that results in donor stewardship, how making them feel appreciated results in long-term giving. So that's why that's so important. These are some fantastic insights, and prioritizing these will result in just that overall better donor experience and converts those one-time gifts into repeat donors.
Yep, that's it.
That's the goal. Okay.
That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. And these elements, they lay the foundation for an effective donation page. And designing a donation page like this really doesn't have to take long at all. I know it sounds intimidating, but it really can just take a few minutes.
Okay, let's move to the second strategy, leveraging the power of recurring donations. So those recurring donations are game changers. They provide that consistent, reliable stream of income. And then I read this stat too, that an average recurring donor will give 42% more annually than a one-time donor. And that predictable revenue allows organizations to plan and budget more effectively. So how can nonprofits encourage donors to set up recurring donations? What are your thoughts there?
Well, it starts with creating awareness and emphasizing the impact of recurring donations. So nonprofits can educate their supporters about the benefits of recurring giving and how it sustains their mission. They can, again, showcase these success stories of how recurring donations have made a difference and highlight the long-term impact donors can have by joining a recurring giving program.
I'm sure you have some best practices for implementing recurring donations that you can share. What have you seen that works?
Yeah. So the one best practice is to provide different recurring donation options on your form. Because if your donors don't know that this is an option, then they're not going to select it, right? So offering all these different options will really help donors select what they prefer more. So some donors may select monthly donations, while others might opt for quarterly or annual contributions. And giving donors flexibility in their giving frequency can really increase that participation in recurring programs. And at Donorbox, we offer daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually to cover all of those bases. And then additionally, nonprofits should have regular communication with their recurring donors. So expressing that gratitude for their ongoing support and then keeping them updated on the impact of their contributions as well.
Oh, yeah. Communication and gratitude, they're just so essential in maintaining that strong, lasting relationship that we strive for with our donors. Okay, so what's our third strategy?
Our third strategy for boosting donations is asking for donations at events.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Why are events such a great opportunity for nonprofits to ask for donations?
Well, events provide a unique setting where nonprofits can really engage with their supporters face to face and create a personal connection and foster that really important sense of community. And attendees are more often receptive to donation appeals when they're immersed in the event's atmosphere and surrounded by like-minded individuals who share a passion for the cause.
Yeah, sometimes that enthusiasm is really, really contagious. What are some effective ways for nonprofits to make that ask at events?
Well, one common approach is incorporating a designated fundraising moment. I guess moment's the right word for that, into the event program. So this can be a specific time during the event when a representative from the nonprofit takes the stage to share the organization's impact, inspire attendees and make a direct ask for donations. And nonprofits can also set up donation stations like the Donorbox Live kiosk, which is, a really easy tablet donation system, or mobile giving options like a text to give number up on the big screens, or QR codes that are in little frames on tables at the event venue. And it just makes it really convenient for attendees to contribute on the spot in a way that they want to give.
We've covered some fantastic strategies so far, and now I would love to explore how nonprofits can demonstrate the real difference their donors can make. It's so important for nonprofits to bridge that gap between donors and then the impact of their contributions. But it's sometimes hard to do that too. When people can visualize that positive change their donation create, it becomes a powerful motivator. Could you share some practical ways that nonprofits can showcase this impact of the donations? What do you think?
Yeah, so one effective approach is to highlight specific stories of individuals or communities that have directly benefited from the organization's work. I've said this already. So sharing those personal narratives and testimonials creates this human connection and allows donors to see the real life impact, their dollars at work. For example, a nonprofit working on education initiatives can share stories of students who have excelled academically or overcome challenges with the help of their programs, stuff like that.
But what about organizations that might not have those personal anecdotes or those stories at their fingertips or readily available?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And I think you and I, Kara, get those types of questions from some of our newer nonprofit organizations. Even if an organization doesn't have direct personal stories, they can still showcase the impact of donations through data or statistics. And it may not be their own data, it might be industry data or whatever that may be. If they can share, how many meals were provided to families in need, how many trees were planted, or how many individuals were given access to clean water, or conversely, how many people need access to clean water, right? Or how many trees we need to plant to combat this thing. And by quantifying this impact, nonprofits can provide a really clear picture of the change donors can help bring about.
What else?
Well, another way to showcase impact really easily is through donation tiers. So Donorbox offers donation tiers, and they're a really fantastic tool for nonprofits to provide donors with options for their giving that cater to their unique needs and preferences. And it involves setting up different levels of donation amounts and then attaching that specific outcome or impact statements to each level. For example, a local animal shelter might have donation tiers like $25 feeds one animal for a week, $50 provides a month worth of toys and treats, $100 covers the cost of a routine vet checkup, or $200 covers a full spay or neuter surgery. And by linking donation amounts to these tangible outcomes, nonprofits can really demonstrate the impact of each contribution and make it even more meaningful for donors. So it allows them to see the direct result of their generosity.
Yeah, that is so great. Donation tiers really empower donors to choose the amount they want to give, but it gives them a sense of pride and ownership. It connects those dots with the specific impact their contribution has.
And it's good to provide a reasonable range of donation amounts to cater to different donor capacities or preferences. So having a mix of those lower, mid, and higher level tiers ensure inclusivity and really allow donors to choose the level that fits their financial situation and preferences.
All right, we've made it to our final strategy, and this one is all about